Hi everyone, welcome back to Eye of the Stars story, and today we're going to be talking about episode 6 of Skeleton Crew. Sorry this video was delayed. I had some things come up that needed my attention, so I didn't get this video out like I had planned, but let's go and jump right into it. First off, that beginning where they're dropping down that booby trap, that looked really fun for being a booby trap. Like, I was like, wow, okay, that looks actually really entertaining, and really fun. And so that was like really funny seeing that. And then like we see that once they get spit out, we see that they talk and they're trying to figure out who's going where. And we see that KB and Wim go with each other, and Neil and Fern go with each other. And I liked seeing that. I liked seeing how that like happened. I thought was like, oh my word, wait, what? Like, it was like two best friends kind of split up to go different ways, and then we see at the end they come back better than ever. And so that was like kind of like weird, like seeing that, but at the same time it was cool seeing how at the end like they realized that they really did need each other. That was cool seeing. And I really liked how like they did that. Like they really did need each other. That was really cool. And then we move on. We see Jod coming up out of that like little hidey hole, covered in jewels, which perfectly fit his character. The pirates attack him, and then we see that SM-33 comes up whenever Jod tells him to, and SM-33 gets knocked out once again. Same way as last time. He got hit with a stun. That always seems to happen with SM-33, just saying. We know his weakness, it's a stun. Anyway, then we see that the X-Wings come, and they start attacking the pirates, and that's when the kids realize that the X-Wings that Jod said were bad guys are really the good guys. And so that was whenever they realized that, which was really cool, seeing them realize. And then we see the kids go their own ways. Just simply saying, though, with Jod, whenever the pirates take him off and they get them onto their ship, why did they let him talk? Why? Okay? Listen, he should have been thrown up the airlock, personally. That's my personal thought, but he should have, okay? He betrayed the kids. He was, like, I didn't like him from the beginning, so whenever he was about to be thrown up the airlock, I'm like, yes, finally, yay, let's go. He's gone. Let's do this thing. And then they let him talk, and they let him talk his way out of it and talk his way into, hey, I know where Ad-Aten is. It's full of making money for agent. Like, it's the last Republic Mint, which is where they make money. It's the last Old Republic Mint, which is where they make the money. He's going on. He's going to every single one of them. You could have this dream. Like, why did you let him talk? And so Brutus grabs him and says, well, if this Ad-Aten isn't what you say it is, you'll be taking a ride. And they show the airlock opening. I was like, why didn't you just throw him out there first? Why did you let him talk? Because that was like really annoying. Like, oh, why did you let him talk? So yeah, that was my thought on Jod. I'm like, oh, why did you let him talk? But yeah, so as we see the kids split up, we see that KB has already started malfunctioning due to corrosion on some of her parts. I don't remember what they were called, but we see that due to that, there's some corrosion. And we see that whenever her and Wim are walking together, that she just full on, like, she can't move, because of that. And so I'm really curious, and this is just a thought, and we say that while Wim is fixing her, she goes on to say that after the accident, Fern still thinks I can do anything. And so we know that in last week's episode, we know that she had a fear of something. We didn't get an answer to what that fear was, but we do know that she had a fear of something. And now, in this week's episode, she's saying there was an accident that she was in that caused her to be like this, that caused her to need the head module, all that. And so I have a feeling that whatever that fear was may be tied to the accident, like she was like something down there reminded her of the accident. This is just a thought. I'm probably completely wrong, but this is just like a thought that I'm having. And so I think it'd be like kind of interesting to slowly start to slowly put the pieces together of what happened to KB. Because I really want that story. I really want to know what happened to her. I really want to know everything about that story, because I'm like really curious right now. Because you can't just really say that and then not like finish it off. Like, I really would like to know. But yeah, and then we see that before she goes into a full system shutdown, we see that Wim saves her. And then we see that, like, while she's talking, though, about Fern, she says that Fern's, A, not always in the world, which I'll get to that part in a second. And B, that if she tells Fern that she can't do everything, that she might not want to be friends with KB anymore. And KB doesn't want to lose that, because KB is best friends with Fern. And so we see that she doesn't want to lose that friendship because she cares about Fern. And so we see that as she goes on talking, we see that Wim is like, well, you could join me and Neil. And I liked how they did that. Like, these kids didn't want anything to do with each other. They were two best friends, didn't want anything to do with each other. To now, hey, you can come into our group. Hey, we'd love for you to come into our group. I love that. Like, that was, like, really cool seeing. Like, it was really cool seeing. It's really cool seeing how much they bonded over this time. Like, that was just super cool seeing that. And I really enjoyed that. And now moving on. So we know that those little crabs that we saw in the trailer are called trash crabs. And I was like, oh my word, it's so cute. It's so little. Like, I loved it. And then we go on to see the, like, king of the trash crabs, what I'm going to say, is, like, the giant trash crab that we saw in the trailer that no one knew what it was. I was like, I like how Star Wars used that. Like, not just, like, just because it's cute and cuddly doesn't mean it's safe. I like how they used that. I like how they did that. And while they're getting attacked by that trash crab, Wim and KB we see that Fern and Neil are about to make it to the ship, but then they take it off. And we see that they jump down to the ship. Smart, brilliant. They take control of it. They rescue KB and Wim. They get into the hull. The ship, they plant it right in front. Like, we see that they crash, and where the ship crashed is right in front of this, like, trash eating machine, that incinerates everything. So we see that they get back to the ship. They have to save it. We see that they get back. They're trying everything they can. KB's trying to boot it up. KB's trying to jumpstart the engine. Wim's trying to shoot it off. Neil's trying to fly it out. And we see that everyone is doing everything they can. But the ship is not going anywhere. It is, at this moment, the ship is about to be destroyed. And so we see that, and as I said earlier, I talked about how Fern wasn't always in the world. How that's what KB said, that Fern wasn't always in the world. Well, whenever she is in the world, she knows what she's doing. We see that everyone around her is telling her not to hit that button that, destroys the outside of the ship. We see that everyone around her is telling her not to do it. But she trusts herself and know that if she does it, she'll probably save them all. So what does she do? She hits the button and she saves them all. Now, that was a really cool sequence, just seeing how the entire outside just, like blew up. Like, that was just really cool. I really like seeing that, and that was, like, super awesome to see. But as I said, like, Fern wasn't always in the world, but whenever she is, she knows what she's doing, which I definitely liked. I liked how they did that. And then we see that the episode ends by them getting out of that planet. So, but yeah, that was my kind of, like, thought on this. Like, I liked seeing how, I really want to know what KB's story is. I really wish they had just let Jod not talk. It was really cool finding out what those little crabs were. It was really cool seeing, and I liked how at the end of the episode, before they went to save them, everyone just hugged. Like, that was, like, really cool. Like, as I said, like, over this time, they have really bonded together. And I have a feeling by the end of this series, by the end of this season, they are going to be, like, the best of friends ever. They're going to have a whole friend group, which I think is really cool. And one more thing that I want to add is we know that the pirates are heading to At-Atten. That's where Jod told them to go. That's how he got his way out of being thrown at the airlock, was he told them about At-Atten, how his last Old Republic mint. So I have a feeling that most likely by the end of the season, this is just a thought, I'm not sure, this is honestly just a thought, I could be wrong, it could be right, I'm not sure. But I have a feeling that the pirates are going to get there, and they're going to try to take over At-Atten, and there's just going to be a whole big kind of war kind of thing that breaks out. That's just an idea that I'm having, that's just a thought that I'm having, and they're going to return right as the kids are returning too. So I just have a feeling that that's kind of going to be what happens, but we'll see. We'll see whenever we get to that point. I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next week. Overall, I give this episode a 9 out of 10. I thought it was really good. Let me know down in the comments, what did you guys think of this episode? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, God bless. Bye, guys.